Hello everyone, I am Etta Patrick Ndongo, popularly known as KAIS. I am the CEO of KAISCREAM, an entrepreneur, a PR, and a brand architect.
Come up with the name KAIS Link, and it's now a brand, KAISCREAM.
That was way back in secondary school. They used to call me back then in secondary school Kaisa Masipo. When we were still being rough in school back then in Kumba.
What?
Kaisa Masipo.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I had one of my friends who is now of late. He used to be Ngakanga and I used to be Masipo. We were still rough in school, so since I was one of the finest history students back then, I added Kaisa to mine, like the Kaisa Williams in history. So that's how the KAIS name came about, from Kaisa to KAIS. So over the years, I revolutionized the name, and at some point, it became KAIS Links, and today it's KAISCREAM, like a business brand.
Wow, that's nice. So you're from Kumba?
Yeah.
You schooled in Kumba?
Yes.
All right, that's great. So how was life in Kumba before relocating to Buea?
Life was daring. Life was fun. Life was an adventure. I think anyone coming from Kumba is already used to the street and how to face challenges. So there's always that guts, because nothing is really being given to you on a platter of gold. You have to be a go-getter coming from that way.
All right, KAIS Links, the CEO of KAISCREAM, right?
Yes, sir.
You have one of your biggest branch is in is at
Mayor Street.
Mayor Street, yeah, Mayor Street, and there is another one at My 17, right?
Yeah.
All right, so at least I know a little bit about you, how you started and everything. So I want you to tell us how you came up with this initiative of using ice cream to make not just a living, but to become one of the best entrepreneurs that we've actually seen, around our media space. Because from when you started with one ice cream, this is not a motivation, because I, for one, I saw it. When you started with one ice cream machine, and now you have a whole company of your own, like with workers from Mayor Street to My 17. How has the journey been?
Well, it's usually about a vision. Like I used to say, I've always gone by this sales philosophy that holds that to sell something familiar, make it look surprising, and to sell something new, make it look familiar. So that was the idea, because people have been selling ice cream for years now before me. So coming into the soft serve ice cream, I wanted to make an art out of it, like to give people the wow feeling, like, hey, come on, is ice cream being positioned in this level, in this manner, in this way? So that's it, and we started from somewhere, and step by step, for my experiences, I've always known how to build something from scratch. Way back from my days in Soyakonia, I'm sure you knew me back then.
Yeah.
So I've had that experience of a journey that you start from scratch and you go somewhere, take it step by step. So starting that ice cream at Mayor Street beside the road, I had a vision that only lived in my head, and gradually I was unveiling it. It wasn't like I learned what I was supposed to do in the course of the business. I already had that vision, and I'm still in the process of the vision, and maybe someday it will be bigger than what we have now.
For sure. So when you decided to take it to another level, you know what I'm talking about? Like,
yeah,
almost everyone around the streets of Moliko have just one ice cream machine, something like that. So you decided to take it to another level. What were the challenges that you actually faced as a person with your team, and maybe some persons that you actually reach out to, for support, and ideas? What were some of the challenges that you faced living from a single ice cream machine to a whole company of its own?
I think it starts with the gods internally, and you being able to push that vision from private to public. What do I mean? Sometimes the most difficult challenge for every entrepreneur is to transform your ideas in your head to public acceptability, for people to kind of accept what you're bringing in. And among my challenges starts with me being able to convince people that other than buying ice cream for 100, 200 francs, they can still buy it for 3,000, 5,000, and 7,000 francs. You get it? And also to be able to train my workers, their understanding to carry the vision. You, like the vision bearer, sometimes it's difficult to transmit that information and that knowledge and that willingness to your team, to have that conviction that this is why we are doing it this way, not that way, and how to consistently do it the same way that will guarantee the public of something that's good and keep them coming from time to time. So we had challenges in terms of cost, or like financing the bigger project. Sometimes you don't have that security to get loans from the bank, and you have to trust some of your relationships like friends and the rest. So being a popular person out there, I had a couple of relationships that I could trust to an extent that maybe I can get some short-term loans and maybe I'm able to pay back over a period of time. So through that, I think we managed to grow in terms of our capital. And I always like to mention that we ploughed back 100% of our sales into the business for the first 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I wasn't living for my business for that period of time. Everything I made from the business, I put it back into the business to be able to get it to where it is now. So there are so many other challenges, but I'm sure people will always want to hear about how I managed to raise the capital and to be able to carry the vision from what it is now. So I can say that I have workers that have been there for three years, meaning they've understood the vision and they've been able to push it to an extent even without me being there. So that's a plus for me.
Wow, that's great. So talking about pricing, you get, because it was like new when it comes to your prices. Ice cream for 1,000, 2,000, 5, even 7,000, right?
Yeah, 7,500.
7,500 for a glass of ice cream. And now around the streets, people know that okay, they can get ice cream 100 francs, 200, at most maybe 500 or 1,000. And then coming to your place, what's the difference? Like what can actually make me, for example, I know nothing about KAISCREAM and I'm there and you bring me your menu, you're telling me that there is an ice cream glass for 7,500. What would definitely make me to buy that ice cream for 7,500?
Yeah, I think this is much more difficult for me communicating that to my workers than to communicate it to you, the customer. Because if I'm selling it to you, then for me it's okay. Like we don't just sell ice cream, we sell a brand. And from our presentation to the way we structure the environment, to the service all put together, they all reflect in the price. You get it? Yeah. So with us, ice cream is more like an art. And especially the ladies, like when you look at the way we name our glasses, we have the king's glass, we have the queen's glass, we have royal treat, we have affection, and every glass has a story. And just by you seeing the presentation of your glass, of course, especially the ladies per se, they always like to get it. And from our garnishing, our presentation, to our setup, to our service, to the choice of music we play, all those things go together to make you feel like, as an ice cream lover, you are at home, and you are not just like anywhere else that you see this person passing a bottle of beer, making noise left and right. No, it's more like a home for ice cream lovers. Like maybe people that love going to the club, they have places that they usually go to. So ice cream is more like a home to them too. So when they come around, when our particular customers come around, they don't have problems with the prices. I think they get it and they are actually well satisfied.
Wow, that's great. You're actually selling a brand. So they actually come there to buy the brand.
The brand.
And due to the way you actually treat them, they feel at home.
They all go together.
So before we go for a musical break, I just want to ask you about your statistics. Do you think your customer base is more of boys or girls, male or female?
You yourself can answer that.
No, you just have to answer.
We don't target the guys, we target the ladies, and the ladies will win the guys.
All right. With life in Buea as an entrepreneur.
Okay.
You know, with the way council and municipal council people actually disturb new businesses, taxes and everything, how did you survive all these things, you know, to stand at the position that you are? Because I'm sure your business is registered, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because whatever you're saying here, there are people out there who are listening to you. There might be someone who wants to start a business, they're scared of maybe taxes, all the paperwork and everything. So how did you actually, you know, get to ride on despite all the difficulties from, maybe, for example, I talk about municipal council.
Yeah.
I know very well that they actually move around at times, disturb new businesses, startups and all the like. How did you actually come up and stand at this level that you are?
Well, I'll first of all start by saying that I have a business background, and there's always that wide understanding of what business should be. You take into consideration the personal factors like the politics, the economics, the social factors, and the legal, all put together, you know. So when you get into business, sometimes you always have to have those things in mind, like take them into consideration. Or when taxation comes to your place, it shouldn't be new that you are paying taxes as a business person. When the council come around for political factors per se, you have to know how to go about it. So what am I saying? I'm saying that you should always have that expectation of what can come or to you as a business person, and have a solution beforehand, so that when the situation arises, you know how to go about it. And there's always that atmosphere of compromise for sustainability. So when things like this happen, okay, you know that when this is happening, the council will come and this is what you're supposed to do, and after that is what you're supposed to do. It shouldn't be more like a surprise to you that, hey, council is not supposed to come, taxation is not supposed to come, the bank is not supposed to come. You should be expecting all those things. That's why I used to say business people are not romantic people. Because after all this, it's very difficult to go back and still have that emotions in the balance level.
So you actually know the buttons to press, you know. Is that what you mean?
I know what to expect. I know how to adapt.
All right, give us your worst experience as an entrepreneur in Buea, living in Buea. Give us your worst experience.
Enyo!
So you actually, your worst experience is the
Enyo life failure.
But you're supposed to have a big gen for that as backup.
We have a standby gen at Mayor's Street.
All right.
At my 17, it's a new branch. The sales cannot afford for the daily cost of running the generator.
How bad has a new, you know, with the light issue in Buea, how bad has it actually affected you in one way or the other?
Firstly, Enyo influenced me into getting a generator.
That's positive influence.
Yeah, that's positive influence, but it still comes because no business person loves to talk about costs.
Yeah.
Our branch at my 17 hasn't been fully functional for almost 2 months now, over the past 2 months. And it's really difficult for us, per se. That's a big loss for us throughout that
because there is no light.
There is no light, and we don't even know when light will come.
Wonderful.
So
that's a very bad experience.
Some of the compromises that we face along the way.
That's not good. So how do you do to manage your branch at my 17 now that there is no light?
Or we'll keep it open for the sake of our customers. Or maybe we have other products, but they are not actively selling like ice cream should. So, like I used to talk about compromise in business, we are in that phase where we are compromising and using sales from one branch to run both branches. I think it shouldn't be long, or not long from now, we'll either get a gen or we'll move into a new location, because we can't consistently be without selling actively.
You better do that. All right, let's talk about branding. Let's talk about the entire branding of KAISCREAM from scratch. Because when you look at, you have your colors, the way you brand your products and everything, even your glasses, the way you brand, when someone enters your shop or your ice cream joint, the way things are being branded there, who is behind all this branding of KAISCREAM?
We have an Inco Media.
You partner with them?
I used to be their PR.
Oh wow.
So they are in charge of our logos, color schemes, even the materials like our table mat. 100% of our branding is being showed up by an Inco Media.
Oh, shout out to an Inco Media.
Yeah.
Where are they located?
My 17, same building with KAISCREAM and Next at my 17 beside Silicon Hotel.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so let's talk about your personality. You know what I'm talking about, your person.
Okay.
Because no matter what, we cannot hide from the fact that you're an albino, you get.
Okay.
So let's talk about the challenge that you face because you're an albino, you are into business. Let's talk about the challenge that you must have faced. Maybe bullying from people not liking to mingle with you and all the like. Have you actually faced any challenge when it comes to that, to the fact that you're an albino and you are into business, you are a successful entrepreneur? Because I count you as one of the successful young entrepreneurs that I know around Buea. So have you actually faced any challenges when it comes to that?
Before I answer you, can you bully me?
Well, you're my friend. I can't bully you.
Okay.
I don't think I can bully any albino.
Well, I feel like these things go back to our state of mind. Because what am I saying? The same way blacks are complaining of racism out of the country is the same way we can complain. But not every black complain about racism. You get it?
Yeah.
So it starts with your mind. Me, I grew up in Kumba from the streets. I've been used to the street. And I'm in that position in my life where I don't feel like anybody can put me down at no level per se. I don't even think or feel like I'm having limitations, except you tell me. So I have a very different mindset when it has to do with albinism or the like. No. I don't even put that into consideration. No. So I don't give someone that opportunity to feel like they can or they are bullying me. No. I put myself right in front of you, like, you have to look up to me no matter what's happening. So it's a mindset. It's not about what people see or whatever. No.
I really love the way you take you have a take about albinism. You talk about mindsets. You talk about growing up in Kumba, and I understand what it takes, because I think every community we have albinos around, and we know what it takes. At times we are very surprised to see that they look different from us and every other thing. Yeah, so perfectly fine. I love the fact that your mindset is already made up and you're perfectly okay with whatever is coming in front. So you have your defense mechanism when it comes to that. So let's go back to business. Let's talk about competition in your sector.
Okay.
Do you actually have competitors? Because I think maybe 5 years back there were not much ice cream joints in Buea, but as at now I think there might be few. Yeah, so let's talk about competition. Do you have competitors in your market?
Yeah, we have competitors in the market.
So is that actually a challenge, or it's instead a way to make you work harder to be at the top?
It should always push us to work harder, let's say.
So you have no issues with your competitors?
No. The market is big for everyone.
Everybody.
If we have more than 100,000 persons in Buea, I cannot even supply ice cream for 1,000 people daily. So if there are competitors that we can, the market is not saturated. So we are collaborators, not competitors. Yeah, and besides, nobody brands like us. So we still feel like
You're still at the top.
We lay the foundation for the others to follow.
Wow. All right. So how do you handle feedback from your customers?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. I'm always in the search for feedbacks. I think feedbacks, criticism is what has helped us go to this level. Like, we are always looking for feedback. Those criticisms and people that don't pretend in telling us the truth, we actually look out for that on daily. Like, we even have a suggestion box that's inside, like 2, that people can write their feedbacks and help us work on that, or work on any complaint that they have. So we actually welcome feedbacks and we look out for feedbacks on a daily. And maybe when the feedback comes in, we always have a small meeting internally to be able to look out for a solution. So once more, I would like to say that feedback is what has actually helped us to come this far.
So when you gather the feedback, for example, if one of your staff got your customers upset and all the like, do you actually discipline them?
Yeah. I think we even had a situation recently that I think 2 staffs were on a 2-week suspension, and they were being transferred to my 17 because of a bad service. So we are very critical on that. We don't compromise our standards. It's a brand.
Do you have a mentor? And what does mentorship play in your entrepreneurship life?
How can
you don't have a mentor?
I don't have an outright mentor. I told someone that sometimes your experience could be your best mentor.
Any entrepreneur that you actually admire in Cameroon?
Yes. I have King Chris in Buea. Of course, I should be able to say Jeffobi.
Okay.
The way the energy, the consistency, I knew how he started in Buea. And I know the energy, the challenges he's faced coming up this far. And he's still working, like, every day you see something new. I like that. He's innovative and he's resilient.
All right, you have your work life different from your private life. How do you manage that?
Yeah, I work towards achieving the goal that my business can be independent of me. Like, I'm a very free, private person. I like to be in my space. And aside from the fact that my business is related, the name is related to my personal name or personal title, KAISCREAM, I always try as much not to identify with it that much. Like, if you don't know me, you come to KAISCREAM, you don't know that I'm the owner. So I try to build my business around a system through which the workers control, while I live independent of it all.
And what's your relationship with your workers? Because there are some people that, if they are, for example, they are the boss of a company, they behave harsh, like they are very hard to penetrate. They feel like they should not have this working relationship with their staff. How is your relationship with your staff? And at times most of these relationships actually links to your customer base, because the way you treat your staff, maybe that's how they will relate with your customers. So how is your relationship with your staff and maybe your customers too?
Yeah, I treat my workers like my loved ones. Yeah,
like your loved ones.
There is that strong bond and relationship between me and my workers. Like, there are people that have come behind struggling to pay my staff to learn our recipes.
Wow.
If that bond, that relationship wasn't there, they would have sold a couple of stores out. So I have that relationship with my workers where they feel like the business is theirs. They do what they're supposed to do wholeheartedly, and I don't need to be there to police them to do what they're supposed to do. No. They get up in the morning, they have the keys of the shop, not me. So there is that trust, there's that communication, and there is that order. We can play and do whatever, but everyone knows their role when it comes to the boss and the workers relationship.
So people actually try to get your recipe,
yeah,
without coming to you, pay for masterclass and all that. Like, they just want to go, like, they want you shortcut.
They always do that.
You're lucky to have good stuff that they can't sell you.
Sincerely.
But have you ever thought of organizing something like a training or masterclass to teach young aspiring entrepreneurs who want to venture into your sector of business?
The only reason why I don't do that is because I'm building a brand. Sometimes when someone who is aspiring to get into the business comes around, I always guide them. But I always tell them that I cannot give you every information for the sake of my brand. It is simple, but if I should tell you, you will not respect it. There's that value of secrecy in a brand. That's what people pay for when they don't know it. But when they know what everything you do, the brand loses its value.
That's true.
So I guide people, but I don't teach outrightly.
Wow. You seem to be a very hardcore, eh? All right, guys. If you could go back in time, what would you tell your younger self?
I'll tell my youngest.
Say maybe 5, 6, 7 years back. What would you tell your younger self? Because I'm sure you might have made some few errors that you regret some.
Yeah.
Let's have it.
Yeah. Should I talk without talking about women?
You can. Whatever you want to say, you're free.
Yeah, I'll tell my younger self to embrace challenges earlier. Like, when you look at the Gen Zs nowadays, they are more open to information and things than we were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's very important. When you embrace challenges earlier, you fail early, you learn early, you grow early, and you succeed early. Then, when it comes to relating with the other gender, endeavor to have a base before thinking about a woman. Even women know that there are distractions. So, it's difficult to grow alongside a woman, except it's a miracle.
Wow. That's great. So, what's your definition of success in your business?
Success for me is being able to do what you want to do, where you want to do it, and how you want to do it. Meaning, if I have to travel to America before I attain this level of success, for me it's a loss because I lost my friends, my acquaintances, and a whole lot of factors. So I should be able to do what I want to do, where I want to do it, and how I want to do it. I like to be free. So to me, that's success.
So are you a successful entrepreneur?
Yes, I would say so.
What makes you think so?
Because I had my vision in my head, and now you're feeling it.